Alan Roger Currie, rest in peace to him. Alan Roger Currie, man, he died way too young. We lose our legends in this space for men way too young, so we need to take care of our health. Many of them dying before 55. So I got my work cut out for me the next 5 years. Alan Roger Currie contributed a lot of books in the, I want to say, late 90s, early 2000s. Shout out to him, Ron Wills, and these legendary people who are still around. But Alan Roger Currie had a book called Mode 1. He's known for the Mode 1 philosophy. In the Mode 1 philosophy, there's 4 modes, by the way. And in there, we broke it down what the modes are. All right, so let me see here. Let's see here. We'll ask. And I didn't prepare for this. But Mode 1, we'll start with Mode 2. Mode 1 is direct, all right? Basically, it's a verbal communication of what you want. You're direct with it. You're quick with it. You're not going to beat around the bush. You're not waiting for phone numbers. You basically want this burning desire. You want to push that out there early and get her to respond immediately about what she wants. If she's kind of blowing you off or asking you to do this and that, you just move on. All right. So Mode 1 is a direct form of communication when you're approaching women in public. Now, people have developed this idea that Mode 1 will get you a sexual assault charge or a restraining order. But yes, it's a direct approach. Mode 2 is a very polite, cautious, or vague or ambiguous approach. All right. Okay. Which is going to be, you're not going to tell her you want to fuck her. You're just going to be like, oh, I just like to meet women and I want to be polite and I'm not going to be direct. And you're a nice guy approach. All right. Mode 3 is going to be a blatant, dishonest, disingenuous, misleading, or manipulative, which I call run game. All right. Or you're going to act like you're the knight in shining armor and you just want to fuck her. And when you fuck her, you're going to diss her. So I think Mode 3 is more run game than Mode 1. Mode 1 is not running game. You're basically telling her what you want. All right. Mode 3 is disingenuous. Mode 4 is going to be antagonistic, insulting, rude, or argumentative, which means what'll happen is you'll start off with one of the other modes, maybe Mode 2 or Mode 3. And then when you get rejected, you go into Mode 4. Okay, you go into Mode 4. So what'll happen is dating coaches will use Mode 1 or Mode 2 or even Mode 3. And then when they get rejected, they go to Mode 4. Crash out. All right. Well, it's always you light-skinned bitches that always be having an attitude. That would be a Mode 4 approach. Alan Roger Currie promotes the Mode 1, which he says, be direct about what you want. Don't beat around the bush. Get to it so that you don't waste time taking her out on dates and stuff like this. Now, this is a great philosophy. A lot of people have picked it apart, and a lot of people have said, I would definitely never use Mode 1 in 2020 because it's harder. It's harder. You would definitely get shot down or you'll get a restraining order, if you will. All right. So here it is right here. Mode 1 haters. He says, quit making excuses for your lack of confidence and courage. But this particular part of the video is interesting. And it backs up something I've said for a long time. A long time that he says people have missed about Mode 1. All right. People have missed this part. And he's going to bring this up. And so he's describing in this live stream why people have gotten Mode 1 wrong. So here we go. Yes, McQueen was Mode 4 in the interview. These trick-ass, simp-ass niggas, that's Mode 4. Be telling these bitches and gassing these bitches' heads up, that's Mode 4. You don't want to be Mode 4, all right? Mode 4 is never a good look, all right? And I try to not be Mode 4 either. All right, so Mode 1. Let's hear the great, late Alan Roger Currie on Mode 1.
That's the truth. Mode 1 is only for guys who have a BDSM dom background and are really erotically dominant. I wouldn't 100% agree with that, but you wouldn't get no argument out of me either, though. Like, I'll tell you something that, since I brought up his name already, I'll bring him again. Alpha Male Strategy said about Mode 1 that I didn't 100% agree with, but at the same time, I didn't 100% disagree with it either, is when we did that panel discussion with O'Shea Duke Jackson last year around Memorial Day weekend, Alpha Male Strategy said, I think that Mode 1 is best suited for guys who are naturally charismatic and have a natural sense of persuasive and seductive charm. Now, on one hand, I wouldn't say I 100% agree with that assessment, but at the same time, and I think I said this on the show, I don't 100% disagree with that either. And again, that relates to actually my one-on-one face-to-face coaching sessions. That's one of the things I help men develop and enhance is their sense of persuasive charm and seductive influence with women. So I would say I at least partially agree. See, people think I always disagree with alpha male strategies, but on that point, I actually at least half agree with him. When he said, yeah, he basically had said in that panel discussion, he said, I don't know if Mode 1 would benefit a guy who has absolutely no charisma or no sense of like persuasive and seductive charm. And to a certain extent, I would at least halfway agree with that.
Has the modern dating landscape confused you? Have many of the standards that you heard you're kind of tired of hearing about and you're wondering what does it all mean? Well, look no further. Join us talking about the monetized dating marketplace right now on Locals, and it is CoachGregAdams.locals.com. You can create a free account to join the conversation between the Coach Gang members, but also on Sunday we do a live stream demonstrating all aspects of the monetized dating marketplace, and coming soon in 2025 you're going to have access to a sample of the monetized dating marketplace course where you can get information related to how to participate in the monetized dating marketplace and or how to understand it, so you're not out here spinning your wheels trying to figure out how you're going to best deal with the monetized dating marketplace. Listen, everything and every aspect of dating is monetized. We just want to relieve the frustration that you might have about it. So the best way to do it is make a free account right there on Locals, CoachGregAdams.locals.com. You can get access to those live streams, but create a free account. Just join the conversation. I am the only one covering this conversation from this point of view. And yes, I am ahead of my time. Get ahead of the information before you're priced out.
For those that don't know, and I know you guys are new to the space, shout out to Alpha Male Strategies. All right, shout out to him, another legend in this space. And thanks for the work that he's done, Alpha Male Strategies. They had a little bit of a beef because Alan Roger Currie came before Alpha Male Strategies. Alpha Male Strategies developed a large group, growing really fast. And then Alan Roger Currie thought he took some of his content from him and didn't credit him. And AMS acknowledged a little bit of that, but he said, I had my own experiences. So shout out to both of them. No beef with any one of them. But he's saying essentially that men that have experience and with multiple women and have a background in BDSM or dominant sexual nature with women and charisma and confidence are going to be better with Mode 1. Okay, so they're going to be better with Mode 1. And Alan Roger Currie's definitely acknowledging that, yes, those people will probably be more successful with it, which indeed he's now saying, I help you develop that confidence. I hope you develop that confidence, or I'm help you develop that confidence. If you have no experience with women and you try to do Mode 1, you're going to get shot down because it's going to come across. This is why when I criticize these PUAs, pickup artists, they're nerds. They're not confident guys. They never had experience with women, so they had developed these game. All right, they had developed this Mode 3 behavior, which was disingenuous and sneaky, and they had developed this shit, and then most of the time when it doesn't work, they go Mode 4. Right? And I'm like, you're just kind of nerds, tech guys that came up with some, I'm going to neg her and I'm going to drag game her, and then that's how the way you get to the pussy. And then you get laid and then you dip on her, and then, you sold her a dream. This is why I don't agree with that Mode 3, that game approach, because it's disingenuous. It doesn't work, and it actually fucks up the marketplace. Whereas Mode 1, this don't fuck up the marketplace that much. All right, them women was going to do what they wanted to do anyway. Now, what's happening here is he's acknowledging this, but there's another part of this that you're going to hear, and I want you to hear this.
So those examples of things that if people were to say, I wouldn't necessarily disagree. Here's the two main things, I think the two main things I do disagree with is when guys say Mode 1 is only beneficial for guys who are exceptionally good looking. That's bullshit. And again, I've said that multiple times already, so this ain't nothing new, but I'm saying it again. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I know a lot of guys who are, including a lot of my clients, who are average looking or even slightly below average looking that have benefited from being Mode 1. So the thing about the looks, that's bullshit.
Now here's the one. Here's what you're gonna hear now.
Bullshit.
Yes.
And here's the thing.
Here we go.
Here's the thing.
Here we go.
If you're amazingly good looking, why do you need to be Mode 1?
Oh no. So now this is the part that people never hear. If you're amazingly good looking, why do you need to be Mode 1? Okay, let's go back. If you're amazingly good looking or you have something that makes you stand out amongst the rest, you don't need Mode 1. I agree. Look at King 6'8". Does he need Mode 1? The answer is nope. No, he don't need Mode 1. I said this about a lot of guys. Whatever the characteristic that they have, status, money, looks, they don't need Mode 1. They don't even need game. Now, they need an understanding of what happens, how women manipulate men. They need that. But they don't need Mode 1. This is an example of it right here. All right, I've been saying that for years. You don't need that. 6'8" doesn't need that. He needs to protect himself against predatory women. That's what he needs. Right? He needs to protect himself against predatory women. Yeah, he's on Mode 0. He on Mode 0. He doesn't need to know. He just needs to know how to not fuck up and talk himself out of pussy. That's it. All right. In this case, Rampage Jackson needed no Mode 1. All right. He's not exceptionally good looking, but he has status and he's muscular and he's good looking for his age, and the girls know it. So yeah, he doesn't need any of that. And he even brings this up. Alan Roger Currie, rest in peace. Shout out to Alan Roger Currie and his family.
I mean, keeping it real, why do you need to be Mode 1 if you're amazingly good looking? I mean, you could be Mode 1, but my question is, why do you need, key emphasis on the word need. Why do you need to be Mode 1?
Amen.
Remember, I've been recently talking about the concept my brother came up with called Mode 0. Mode 0. And even Ron Wells used this term before, Mode 0.
Yes.
If you're amazingly good looking, let's say you look a brother, if you're a black dude, you look like Boris Kojo, or white dude, you look like Brad Pitt. I mean, if you look like Brad Pitt or Boris Kojo, shit, you can get away with being Mode 2. Shit, you could probably get away with being Mode 3 and still get some pussy. Why do you need to be Mode 1 if you're amazingly good looking?
Uh-oh.
Why?
Oh. So he said, if you're amazingly good looking, you can be Mode 2 or Mode 3. You can get away with it. You can be disingenuous. You can be a simp. You could be like, I love you. You could be romantic. You could get away with it. You don't need. So he's like, this Mode 1, Mode 2, Mode 3, Mode 4 is for a larger group of men, but the top select men, you don't even need it. You could use it, but you don't even need it. And here's the thing. He's going to bring it on home. I'm letting you hear this. Listen to this.
Same with wealth. Second thing is guys who say, and this is even with me and Donovan Sharp. Again, we cool again now. But speaking of that Memorial Day panel discussion, this is one of the things that caused me and Donovan Sharp to have a brief, at least a 24 to 48 hour falling out. Because Donovan Sharp argued that the main guys that Mode 1 would benefit would be guys who are wealthy. Yeah, he said some comment to the fact that, he said, I think Mode 1 will only work for you if you making like 6 or 7 figures. If you're wealthy, why do you need to be Mode 1? You can just buy some pussy. You can just resort to tricking and whining and dining. What do you need to be Mode 1 for?
Oh no.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, no. Did he just say that? Did he just say that? He did not just say that. McQueen, get in here, sir. Step in, McQueen. Step in. This is one of the most world-renowned dating coaches in the world that has ever lived in the last 10 years. I've been telling you this for how long? It's obvious. Why would a guy who's wealthy go through mode 1? Why would he run game? I've been saying that since the beginning. Why would a guy with wealth run game and do mode 1? Why? Why would he be outside mode 1ing women? Why would he be outside running game? Listen to what he says now. He gonna put the cherry on the top.
I would say, if anything, it's just the opposite. Mode 1 is broke man's game. And y'all have heard me say that before, particularly in 2017. I did a few videos where I talked about that. Like, see, when I was in my...
Mode 1 is broke man game. Mode 1 is broke man game. What have I been saying? This is for broke people. This is for broke niggas. Mouthpieces for broke niggas. It's not for guys that are accomplished, successful, established, career-oriented niggas. It's not. It's for broke niggas, for broken women. Roosh V. I'm going to play it again so you can hear it. Mode 1 is for broke men. This is directly from the source. Give me my flowers. I didn't know this about mode 1. Somebody sent me a clip. Mode 1 is for broke men. It's for men that need. This is the only way they're going to get it. Oh, wait. Okay. Let me see. Look, this is directly from the source. Don't argue me, man. Direct speak mouthpiece is mode 3 to me. All right. It's always forever going to be mode 3. It's not mode 1. All right. Mode 1 and mode 3 are different, right? So mouthpieces to me is a mode 3. All right. To me. All right. You don't have to agree with it. But he said mode 1 is for broke niggas.
I mean, keeping it real, why do you need to be mode 1 if you're amazingly good looking? I mean, you could be mode 1. But my question is, why do you need, key emphasis on the word need, why do you need to be mode 1? Remember, I've been recently talking about the concept my brother came up with called mode 0, and even Ron Wills used this term before, mode 0. If you're amazingly good, let's say you look a brother, if you're a black dude, you look like Boris Kojo, or white dude, you look like Brad Pitt. I mean, if you look like Brad Pitt or Boris Kojo, shit, you can get away with being mode 2. Shit, you could probably get away with being mode 3 and still get some pussy. Why do you need to be mode 1 if you're amazingly good looking? Why? Same with wealth. Second thing is guys who say, and this is even with me and Donovan Sharp, again, we cool again now, but speaking of that Memorial Day panel discussion, this is one of the things that caused me and Donovan Sharp to have a brief, at least a 24 to 48 hour falling out. Because Donovan Sharp argued that the main guys that mode 1 would benefit would be guys who are wealthy. Yeah, he said some comment to the effect of, he said, I think mode 1 will only work for you if you making like 6 or 7 figures. If you're wealthy, why do you need to be mode 1? You can just buy some pussy. You can just resort to tricking and whining and dining. What do you need to be mode 1 for? I would say, if anything, it's just the opposite. Mode 1 is broke man's game. And y'all have heard me say that before, particularly in 2017. I did a few videos where I talked about that. Like, see, when I was in my 20s, man, I couldn't afford to take a woman on 3 dates.
All right.
Let you get it through your thick skull that I'm broke.
Yeah.
Dead, flat, stony broke. I've got $3.85 in my purse.
Hey, it is what it is. Directly from the source. This is directly from him. By the way, I read his second book, which is The Possibility of Sex, and he was insinuating the similar thing in the second book. So if you guys want to go, get his books, Mode 1 is his first. Well, I can't think Mode 1 is his book that was popular, and then The Possibility of Sex is the second book, and it kind of goes together. It's a follow-up to Mode 1. So if you want to read the book, and I've read a great bit of Possibility of Sex, he insinuates that as well. And it actually made me dive deeper into his philosophy, because I was like, I didn't realize that this was it. He was like, I'd rather you do that if you have the money. I'd rather you do that than to use mode 3 and mode 4. He was like, because mode 3 and mode 4 is the most disingenuous way to go about it. He said, I'd rather you trick than to use mode 3 or mode 4. But he's even saying mode 1 is not even for a guy that has money or a guy that typically would have good looks. So shout out to the legend. And I've been saying this for a long time. And what's happening is, since we've gone to what I call the monetized dating marketplace, it less favors mode 3, it less favors mode 4, and those guys are least likely to handle it. What they're doing is they're trying to shame dudes from using mode 1, mode 0, and money. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to be like, oh, we need to change the guys who are using mode 0 and mode 1. Mode money, mode 0, mode 1. Because mode 3 and mode 4 can't cut it. Not in today's marketplace. That is a dying breed. Game and crashing out on women, it ain't gonna work. Crashing out on dudes, it ain't gonna work. Shout out to Alan Roger Currie. Just wanted to show you that because a lot of men are confused. All right, they think men that are established and good looking should use the same system as the men who are broke and don't have good looks.